Department reports.
Good evening, excuse me, good morning, gentlemen. Just give you guys a little staffing update. We are fully staffed as far as the deputies, we have 19 positions, 19 of them are filled. Wyatt Lashbrook will be starting the academy this week. We do have one that's currently on leave. Corrections officers, we have 21 budgeted positions with 16 of those being filled. 5 people are in training right now of those 16. We do expect to lose one who is moving away. This new facility needs 4 officers per shift to run safely. Right now, we're on 12-hour shifts. We're always hiring, always interviewing, and always testing. Communications officers, we have 8 of the 9 positions being filled. New person started last week, and the last position will be filled on the 15th. Part-time stepping up, and I believe that we'll probably have one person stepping out for a leave here. Hopefully, if it hasn't already been approved, it will be today. Community corrections were fully staffed. The August numbers for the detention center, we had an average of 111. And of those, 96 were male and 15 were female. Work release, we had an average of 32, with 28 of those being male and 5 being female average. You guys have any questions or concerns?
No, Bruce.
No. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Bruce. Fire up.
Okay, with one of the officers here, certified in vehicle, truck scale, 2 portable scale, 2 hopper scale, 2 defeating scale, 2 suspension scale, 10 vehicle truck meters, 12 gas 24 high flow diesel meters, 240 packages checked.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Dennis Simpson Soil and Water Conservation District to Gibson County. Got a soil judging contest coming up for all the area students September the 9th at Roy Lynch's farm. And then Julie Lear, education coordinator, has been working on grants, and she's applied for at least 6 different grants, such as things will cover the Pigeon Creek watershed, the Coffee Scott watershed, CWI grant, a Lear grant for reclaim mine land in the Pigeon Creek watershed, and then a forestry grant to try to help educate the citizens of Gibson County about forestry.
So, thank you, Dennis.
In last month, we've had 2 work off claims, 2 general liability claims. We've had annual fire extinguisher inspection done at the courthouse and this building. Also got the new panic buttons installed, programmed at the probation and the public defender's office.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good morning,
Morning.
George Pickersgill. I am your veteran service officer in Gibson County. Been a long time since I've given you a report, so a little rusty, and we'll have to just kind of work through that. I don't have an actual format to give you. I have a state format that was used in here years and years ago, and it talked about how many phone calls you made. And I mean, I'm sure to goodness you don't care how many phone calls they make a day.
Casual conversation.
Okay, but I do want to tell you about a project I'm working on. Most of you are familiar with it on some kind of level, but just to publicly roll this thing out and try to energize it and get some traction going here. I'm calling it Gibson County Hometown Heroes. You may have seen, you ever roll through a small town? Petersburg would be the closest one around here that I'm personally aware of. And the first thing you notice when you come into town down their main street, that just on all the light poles, there will be banners honoring their local veterans. So that's what we want to do, something very, very similar to that. My target goal to roll this thing out would be for Veterans Day. I hope to have everything up and ready about a week out. And then shortly after Veterans Day, I'm going to take them all down. I've mulled this over, and I don't think the idea of leaving them up all year long is very smart. The weather will destroy them eventually. The wind and the sun will reach them. So
Memorial Day, but
yeah, they'll go up before Memorial Day and come down a little after Veterans Day. So when the weather's nice. This thing is designed for families to buy into the program. They will actually pay the cost of the banner itself. There will be a very, very minor capital outlay, in the form of some brackets, which we're having fabricated, and a little bit of literature advertising thing. Very, very nominal fee, a nominal amount of money. And like I said, the families, after we get to rolling, probably next year and beyond, families will buy into it. They want to honor grandpa or dad or their son or daughter, or whomever, you know, they will pay the cost of the banner, which is extremely low, by the way. Based on the best estimate I got, probably looking at maybe $40. And then when the program's over and that person comes down, they will actually get the banner back. And by the way, this is let me just show you a sample, kind of what it, you've seen these before. We were on vacation in New England, a couple months ago, and it's like every other little town we rolled through had these in there. I thought it was about the coolest thing ever. The first batch, to buy into the program, there will be no special requirements, only that a vet honorably served in some branch of the military. They don't have to be a wartime veteran. They don't have to have been killed in action, nothing like that. However, for the first batch that we're going to put up this Veterans Day, I have got an anonymous donor who has volunteered to pay for the entire batch of banners. And because it's special and it's new and we want to generate some excitement, I'm selecting some real special veterans in the county. So there would be guys who were killed in action and or prisoners of war. But beyond that, once the families start buying in, it can be any veteran. There'll be no requirements like that.
Are you planning on doing this in all the towns or?
No, we're gonna start off at the courthouse because it's a county project. And we know from experience that some folks around the county get a little wound up if Princeton gets too much attention. We're gonna stay on county property around the courthouse. There's 15 light poles around there. They're gonna be double brackets, so that'll accommodate up to 30 vets. I do have a handshake agreement with the mayor. And if we outgrow that, he's agreed to allow us to use Broadway here and then down South Main.
Is there any logistical problems with attaching to the utility poles?
No,
Okay.
no, not a bit. They won't affect the operation of the pole or.
But I mean, they're not, the power company's not gonna come back and squawk because,
I can't imagine.
okay,
Probably wouldn't hurt to check.
wouldn't hurt to make a
Okay.
friendly phone
I
call.
will do that.
Yeah, I mean, if they allow us to put up Christmas decorations and other banners,
Yeah,
you would hope that they would allow us to honor our veterans.
snowflakes and.
Right.
That's never been a
But
problem.
it'd probably be worth it.
But I will, that's me. So I'm excited about it. I've kind of leaked it out a little bit here and there. The families that are providing me with photos for the first batch we're gonna do, they're all super excited. I think this thing's gonna go over really, really well. I'm pretty amped up about it.
Sign me up for 3.
Okay. Any questions? I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you, George.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Matt Wolf, Department. Chip seal, actually I reported last time we were about done. We are finished now. We finished it up. Some spot chip seal on some milling roads. Overlay is done. Our paving project, shoulder stone should be done by the end of the week. It has put in Saturday, finishing up. The shoulder stone will get finished. Striping's not on the schedule yet, but they are aware that we're ready for it. So, that striping will be scheduled soon. I don't see any reason why they'll, I think we had an end of October deadline on that contract finishing. We shouldn't have any trouble finishing that. Other things been working on, I know I've got to show some of you a little bit, but we've assessed, did condition assessments of about 400 over 560-ish, hard surface, paved roads. That data is coming in pretty good. So as I'm hoping to maybe get it finished this week, but we'll see, maybe next week on that stuff. Community crossings is coming up. We'll talk about it later because that's later on the agenda. But community crossings, October 1st is the opening for it. Started working on it. Any questions for me right now?
What's the data that you've recovered so far? Do you have an average of a PACER rating?
Yeah, it was around 7.1, I believe. And to be eligible for 2027 to go from the 50/50 on a restricted fund to the 40/60, we have to be above a 6. So I have no roads currently sitting at a 1 or 2, but I'm not done yet either.
Right.
So right now we are meeting all the requirements for that change with House Bill 1461. Make things a little bit better on us on our county side of things. So.
Okay.
I could expect it to, as most data we have already, the extra 100 miles, I can't see it going back down. I have not drove any of the roads that we've overlaid this year. I wanna wait till the striping's done because one of the updates with Biolytics is it will pick the striping up and it'll rate our striping too. So I wanna have them finished before I get those roads done. So I'm gonna have roughly 20 miles of roads that are gonna be tens, which will help a little bit. But when you're at 560 miles, it's hard to really change the date at this point. So. Any other questions?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
A very reliable little bird just informed me that you own those light poles over there.
Thank you.
It should be a non-issue.
Good.
All right. Yellow date. Rob?
Should have worn my hat. Man, right. We did get word today, we had to clean our parking lot across the street out because they're gonna start moving equipment in to finally pave the parking lot around the gray building starting this week. So they gotta do some excavating and some stuff, curbs, that kind of stuff getting put in, but they are gonna be starting this week on it. So then kind of wait to see what your next item, what happens with it, with the contract with Triple I. 3I, okay? All right, thanks.
Thank you, George.
All right. Next one we got, OGL demolition package. That's from 3I.
Yeah, this is a agenda item that was tabled at the last meeting.
Yeah.
The bid packet came at 37,000. Anybody hear from 3I?
Did they ever get the extra environmental?
Not that I saw. That was a assignment that we asked them to handle, so I would recommend that we table it until the next meeting, give them more time to provide that to us.
Okay, so with that being said, I'll entertain a motion to table.
I'll make a motion to table that till we get the rest of the information from 3I.
I'll second that.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Next up, we got Toyota, perimeter road phase 1, Matt Holden.
Alright, so, the Toyota Perimeter Road project was approved by, RDC probably about 3 years ago. And it was approved to do it during, towards the end of the TIF. We're towards the end of the TIF now. What I'm proposing is doing it in 2 phases. So the complete Toyota Perimeter Road project is, Tulip Tree, 525 south, 100 east, and 350 south. My proposal is to start with phase 1 as the Tulip Tree Drive. That's 5 lanes and the majority of that. It's only one of the roads, but it's pushing half the project. I said it was already approved by the RDC. The funds are allocated. I will be going to the RDC meeting to give them an update on what's going on this, because I'm sure they're gonna wanna know. This project will be what I'm gonna submit for community crossings. Community crossings grant with the changes is gonna be very, very competitive this year. We're expecting to have upwards of 300 million worth of submittals, and they're only gonna award 100 million. So having that project being, 11,000 vehicles a day, and really close to 41, as busy as it is, I think it'll score very well, and give us a better chance of securing that community crossings grant. And I'll work with the plans to work with the RDC on doing other county road projects with the money that we're going to be getting from community crossings. So still gonna do, still wanna do other county road projects with that $1 million to help us secure that grant. I really feel that we need to have a great project to score well, as competitive as it's gonna be. What we have in front of us is a contract with United Consulting to basically run that project. That was included in the original RDC project. You guys know Toyota traffic's fun to deal with. It's gonna be a full-time job for somebody to deal with this. So that's the contract with them to put everything together and run with it, and then have a full-time inspection. I did look and I put my email. it is under the allocated amount that we have with RDC for that type of work. So
You think with so was the original project you said was like 3 years ago put together? You think that the funding that is available now with cost and everything is still gonna be able
Yes.
to do the entire?
yeah, because we projected this project out a couple of years. I don't know if it was 25 or 26, but it was out a couple of years. So we still believe we can come in for that amount. We did allow contingency, everything built into that first allocated project, so.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
can I ask a question? The last time we did the Permian vote, it was during a shutdown.
Correct.
Are you gonna plan to do that?
That's the plan, that's the hopes is we can plan, we're gonna have a lot of deep patching out there this time.
Right.
I don't know if you go out there, if you drive to it, or you can see the areas that have the cracks that were filled that are, you know, a foot wide. That's where those cracks are actually failing. So we're not gonna be able to get all the work done during shutdown, but the plan is to schedule it for the mill and overlay. The majority of the project will be done during shutdown. That is the plan, yes.
Say did the whole perimeter, you know, all.
Yeah, they just did like an 1.5 inch overlay or something. It was, this is a structural overlay, so the plan on the project is to mill 2.5 inches, put 2.5 inches of intermediate, 1.5 inches of surface. So we're actually doing a 4 inch overlay. That last one, probably 10, 12 years ago,
Yeah, roughly.
is about what it was before my first time here. So, we're hoping to get more life out of it than 12 years with doing something more substantial, so. Yes.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Question?
we will, and as always, we will have to work closely with Toyota
Absolutely.
as far as logistics and everything.
Yep.
Roy, you have something?
Yeah, does TIF money pay for a lot of it?
That's what the TIF's designed to do.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so TIF is paying, the project allocated to pay for it. Like I said, we're gonna do the community crossings grant to help secure that with the scoring. Then I'm hopeful to work something with the commissioners and the RDC, which is TIF. To reallocate that money. Since we should not be spending it at all, so.
Any more questions? Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Matt.
You just have to approve that contract.
Yeah, ready to entertain a motion to approve this contract by United Control.
I'll make that motion to approve it.
I will second.
This is for phase one.
Right.
Yeah, first and second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. I got it. Okay. Next up, we got Tucker River, NWR land acquisition or review.
You just have a different, I think.
You skipped that.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm sorry. There
Okay, equipment bids, what I have here, is, I emailed this, but, we had, quotes given that were Sourcewell pricing on excavators, which would be, we looked at the Great All XL 4100 and the Cat M320. And I sent an email with the different specs all the way across everything. My recommendation is to go with the Cat M320 excavator. It is a Sourcewell price, so that is, I know me and Jason's been through this before, but that is pre-approved government pricing. So this does not have to go out to the bid process. We can go with the Sourcewell pricing. This thing's at least 6 months out, so it's gonna be a next year. But in order to get our name on the list and get it start to be built, it'd be for next year's budget, but I need to get that rolling, so I need to approve the purchase of that piece of equipment. Then the other one, I can't get anybody local to do Sourcewell pricing on pickup trucks. So we're gonna have to put them out for actual bid. So we're putting together a spec sheet for what we're looking for on pickup trucks. Those I'm hoping to get going and maybe have them purchased with this year's current budget. But I've got to get them out for bid quick in order for that to happen. So,
If you get them out to bid and sign a contract, you can always encumber.
correct. If we can't get them this year, we can encumber that funds, yes. I'm hopeful that we can get them this year, so we're running out of time pretty quick. So I need one to approve the Cat M320 and then another to approve going out to bid for the pickup trucks.
So the first one, that was an ARPA.
No, the ARPA money has been spent. So this will be, whatever's left of the first one will be next year's budget.
Okay.
So I did find out ARPA money is gone.
Okay.
So the Cat will be next year. next year's budget. Hopefully the trucks are this year. If not, we'll encumber that money to next year.
So we need to entertain a motion to approve bids, or put it up for bids for, the Caterpillar.
Yeah, before you do that, if I can make a quick record, so that source well usage of it, as Matt mentioned, we've been through this before, but just for the record, that's in compliance with Indiana Code 36-1-7. And the competitive bidding requirements of Indiana Code 5-22. So now you can proceed with your
Motion for the excavator first.
Yeah.
So you need a motion for the excavator,
I'll make that motion.
I will second that.
all in favor, signify by saying aye.
I,
I got it.
Then I need a motion to put out the bid pickup trucks.
I'll make a motion for, Superintendent Holden to put out bids for pickup trucks.
I'll second that.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I will bring this up at the council meeting also. That way it was one. Thank you, guys.
All right, now we got you. Hamilton.
Morning, Keith Hamilton, I'm the acting manager at Patoka River National Wildlife Refuge. Appreciate you getting me on the agenda that quick. I reached out to Nick a couple weeks ago and for Nick and Judy getting me on here. We had so at Patoka River at the refuge, we were established in 1994 by Congress. We have an approved acquisition boundary in Pike and Gibson County. And this year, this is the first time we've had to do this, but they asked us to get county a no objection from the county to continue to use a pot of money called the Land and Water Conservation Fund. And that is a pot of money that's royalties on offshore drilling in US waters, goes into this pot of money. There has been up to $900 million in there. It's a national thing for land managing agencies to use for land acquisition projects, and so also for access. But we would be seeking to use that money to purchase land from interested and willing sellers within our acquisition boundary, as we've been doing since 1994. And you know, the properties are open to the public for wildlife dependent recreation, which would be hunting, fishing, wildlife observation, bird watching, just bushwhacking, getting out there in nature. I saw Jason, you sent me an email that had a draft resolution. Everything in there looked good to me, but that would be something for the commissioners to review and decide if you agree with that.
So I reviewed your email and everything, the acquisition, and I want to reiterate what Keith just said. It's the acquisition of land by willing.
Interested and willing sellers.
Right, so in other words, this is not the government coming out and taking ground. This is only people that want to sell their wetlands for nature conservation and everything like that.
That's correct.
Yes, Bob.
Does he have a list of lands that are currently available or looking at?
We have acquisition boundary area that was approved by Congress, so as properties are available within that boundary, we and a property owner indicates that they're interested in selling, we work through that, but there's some properties that we are working on right now. I don't have the list with me. Don't know what would you like to see our acquisition boundary area, or?
I was just interested in the ones that you're currently actively interested in or
Okay.
trying to acquire.
And that's something we could talk about, I guess, outside the meeting if you'd like,
Sure.
unless you guys really want to know that.
This is
So
acquisition
you're,
with federal money?
This is federal money, and this is one pot of money that's available to us.
and the boundaries are preset, so you can't go out.
Right, we are able to go 15%, we can add 15% to our acquisition boundary, which our acquisition boundary was approved at 22,472 acres. And that was most of it's in Pike County, but probably a third of it's in Gibson County. And we are able to go outside the boundary, because sometimes we'll have a landowner that has, say 200 acres in the boundary, but they also want to sell the 40 that's connected to it, that for some reason they drew the boundary outside of it, and we can do things like that.
Okay.
But everything's really connected to that boundary. adjacent to it at least.
If I have any questions.
So based upon what I've heard, I think that the commissioners would be inclined to grant the no objection as long as the acquisition is done through consensual cooperation with the property owners and not eminent domain. And if we can have a motion to that effect.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Thank you. Thank you.
We already had George already,
Yep.
so, and then we have nothing else, we have no medical leaves. And that's enough to say. Well, then we got public comment. Right there.
Mark Berenbacher, Fort Branch, and I want to publicly embarrass Commissioner Burns. Politely. Past week, I'm commissioners and the public is familiar, the grass median on US 41 in Fort Branch only gets mowed by NDOT twice a year. And it's not really sufficient when you compare it with driving down to Evansville and Pender County. And this past week, Commissioner Burns on his own time and his own dime went and mowed that median, made it look real nice. And I just wanted to publicly state that what you did, Commissioner, is noticed and appreciated. I just want to give you a big thank you.
Thank you.
Patty Vanover with the Gibson County Chamber of Commerce. I just want to thank everyone who purchased an envelope. We had our drawing yesterday live on the air on the Going Home Show with WRAY, and there are someone won 2 buckets, so there are 4 winners. And if you would like to know who that was, if you did get a call, then it's not you. So.
I did it all.
But thank you for everyone who did and helped us with that. It was a scholarship fundraiser for our scholarship endowment that we're trying to set up for non-traditional students and non-traditional scholarships. So thank you for that. Also wanted to mention that I inadvertently said the wrong date for the ribbon cutting for the Isaiah project. It is the 25th of this month, not last month. So at noon. So that's a Thursday, I believe, and it's over there in the YMCA complex. That's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you.
I do have one addition. I just looked on NDOT's road closure map and they're showing that State Road 64 from the east side of Princeton to Francisco is gonna be chip sealed next week. I leave, I'll see if there's anything posted out there yet. They're showing a closure at, I think, so Monday morning, the 8th, through the end of the week. I would say they just put that closure in there for a week to give them time in case they have a rain day or something in there. But definitely would like to get that information out. They're showing chip sealing State Road 64 from the east side of Princeton to the west side of Francisco starting next Monday.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Stacy McClellan. I'm from Owensville. I am the president of the REH board, which is the old gym. I'm here to request monies from the Gibson County Coal TIF Fund to be applied to install a new gym floor.
It's not cold.
Pardon?
From the where? Money from where?
The Gibson County Coal TIF Fund money?
You can forward, if you're interested, you can forward it to the redevelopment commission for their consideration.
Their consideration. And I know the Toyota TIF has been used for some projects like that if it benefits employees and their families, which I'm sure the REH Center has plenty of Gibson Coal employees and families that use it, whether it's for the Biddy Ball project or the Halloween festival or whatever. So I would make a motion that we give our blessing to Ms. McClellan to approach the RDC to see if there's any funding available for the replacement of the gym floor at the Owensville REH Center.
Do we know how much that is?
The floor, the company I'm working with, they've given me 3 different amounts. It's kind of unknowns once we rip up the old floor. If we're able to keep the sleepers, if the mastic is bad, has to be replaced, so. It ranges anywhere, one type of floor is 137,000, 165, one is 165, and one is 178. We have raised some funds, but not nearly enough, and then that's not counting the demolition fees, or if we have to come back in and put leveling in. So there's a lot of unknowns yet.
So do we have to set an amount?
That's all.
You do not, but you've heard from her what that amount, the kind of the range is, and, did you already act on it? You already.
No, we have not.
Not acted on it. So,
We're basically just giving her our blessing.
yes,
To approach the RDC.
correct.
And I would make a motion to that effect.
I'll second. Yeah. Seconded. Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And I'll be more than happy to go to that meeting with you, Stacy. I go to it.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Hello, everyone, I'm Todd McConnell, live on 350 South.
Thank you, sir.
I'm one of my fellow residents, better no cost of living, but I'm handing out a petition that was presented to the commissioners back in November of 2023. And I'd like to read it and then we can discuss it. I think maybe Travis will talk to you, Matt, this previous week, but basically the following residents of Gibson County. So this is a petition. There's several pages, but this is one of them that Travis and I got the residents on 350, presented it to them and they signed it. But the following residents of the County Road 350 South, located between County Roads 100 East and 350 East, request that the Gibson County Commissioners restrict the use of the 2.5 mile section for commercial hauling 18-wheel trailer, tractor trailer vehicles. This would not include county vehicles located or servicing the county garage and local seasonal use such as farm grain vehicles. The reason for this request is due to the safety of the residents who live in this section of 350 South. There have been multiple off-road turnovers of these commercial vehicles in the last month. There's been multiple since then too, as well. The road is not designed for the width of these vehicles, and there are alternate routes that are readily available to handle the traffic in a safe manner. This section also has school bus traffic from North and East Gibson schools Monday through Friday, and there's concerns for the students. And right now, the soccer complex out there, there's kids practicing every night of the week. Saturdays are full. I mean, they've even had to redo the parking lot. But, you know, we watch semis go by every day. Car carriers, and there's a couple different help, I guess, attempts from Toyota. Some of the executives there tried to curb it and it didn't change. Because they really can't control the truck traffic. The other thing is, since the time we started looking into this, every single county that around here, and if you ever visit any other county, has multiple signs that say, no trucks, turn right, and then you get down to the road, it says no trucks, no through traffic. It's everywhere. And even, since the time of this, like Posey and up around in Du Bois, they even have semi speed limits, maybe 20, and cars are 30 or 40. But basically, there's no shoulder on our road. There's no room for it. The telephone poles are really close. Homes are close. And back in November 2023, I know there was in this meeting, it said we were going to put signs up. And so we're bringing it back up because you know, it's just as bad as it ever was, so. Just wanted to bring-
We got our own here.
Yeah, so. So anyway, that, just wanted to bring. it up.
I know just from that, I know we ordered, speed signs
Mhm.
for that, like we have in Francisco,
Mhm.
for speed limit, so we'll have it going in and out on that road. But we'll let Matt talk about that.
You know, I know that all that come in, you have it,
No, there was like everybody 2 more weeks left. There was like a 6-week lead time on that when we ordered.
Yeah, so 350 South, yes, we know that we've had some rollover accidents out there with some of my trucks, people going in ditches, doing those things. I don't think we have one since I've been back, but I don't think so. One thing I would like to mention is I did submit a grant for Safe Streets and Roads for All. And that would be a safety action plan that would look at situations like this, look at possible ways to help those situations. That whole safety action plan does have public meetings. Where they come and ask the public to come in and bring up situations like this one here. You know, I know as far as, you know, load limiting that road, there's not a bridge on there that would be, you know, require load limits. We can't restrict it because of load limits. I think hopefully we get that grant for SS4A. I think that would be this is a very good product. And we see it all the time too. It's sitting in my office. I can see what's using that road. I think it'd be hard to know the difference between what's coming to the highway department or, you know, going different places and the farmers and then you have to regulate it is the other thing. You have to enforce it, which is gonna require sheriff's department to help enforce that too. I'd like to see, we should know about that grant in the next month, I would hope. I think that this is a good project to put on the, you know, higher priority of that. I know previously, years before, we've asked Toyota to reiterate to their vendors to not use, you know, local county roads as their way, and I don't know if I think it helped at one times. So I think we can definitely get a hold of Toyota and have them, you know, send something to their vendors to stay on state roads. You know, I know they've helped us with that before. I don't know if that was done in the last 6 months or not. I don't know, or 8 months, whatever.
I know we did that, then we also talked about Google as well, contacting Google and stuff like that as well.
Try to get that route out of the GPS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the letters, when we had the letters come before, I know people received them.
So
Actually, Google Toyota.
this is, I mean, it's like, this is the same thing we talked about 2 years ago, but nothing's been done. But all the other counties do, and all the other counties have, and when I talk to truck drivers, they see those signs, they don't go that way. But we have to do something, because somebody's gonna get hurt. I mean, it's a safety, I watched them this morning, watched a car carrier go that way, speeding or whatever, you know, I mean, they were going a lot faster than 40, but maybe not more than 50, because they aren't gonna get ticketed, and nobody's there to watch them anyway. So, and then here comes the school bus. You know, there's not enough room for that semi and the school bus.
I'll get
Pass on
with
it.
him afterwards and we'll look up, see, what other counties have done. That's not something I've talked to other counties about what they do. Usually we talk about load limit, you know, we always go to the load limits first. If we have a bridge that's posted, we can definitely, you know, put lots of signage up and restrict the use of that road.
But
Yeah,
once
I'll
again,
get-
that comes down to enforcement, where if you've got a sign there, and there's not a police officer sitting there,
Yes,
they're gonna drive across it anyway.
And that's the speed thing's the same way. We really don't have too big of a challenge with Toyota regular traffic. We know when it's coming.
Yep.
But the problem with semis, they run 24/7.
Right.
And they aren't just from Toyota, but they're, but we just gotta do something. Somebody's, I mean, yeah.
I'd
that's
say
gonna be really
definitely
bad, by the way.
The first
They're
step
closing
is
64,
definitely
they-
reach
Yeah,
out to
yeah, and
Toyota.
that's surprisingly, they haven't been, because there's no truck signs over on, Saddle Club and all over there, and then there's no truck signs on our county, just on 600. I mean, I went around and took pictures last time I did this, how many's already in the county? But on a main road where 11,000 people use it every day and semis, we aren't doing anything. And I understand Google, I understand, but for us, I mean, some of the neighbors can't keep their mailboxes on because if two semis meet, they're gonna wipe out something and they aren't gonna hit telephone poles. So
But after if we get that, how long will it take there? You think they'll do that?
So if we get that grant, we'll start immediately on that safety action plan. And we should have it completed. I wanna have it completed by the beginning of next summer, so this will be this winter, we'll complete that plan, because then I can apply for funding. So what we find out from that safety action plan, it creates projects to do, and then I can submit those projects for funding to help fix these projects. So I wanna be able to get that safety action plan done through the winter months in the spring, so that way next summer I can actually get submit to start doing some of those projects. So
I think that was what the standstill was before, 'cause I know we talked about putting the stop sign and stuff like out there before, maybe to deter people. I know we talked to Matt about doing that safety plan. I think that's why I was on standstill to see what.
Well, what would we expect to see from that plan? I mean, what would be the outcome for the road?
I don't know, it depends on what we come up with in that plan. I mean, like I said, it's a big study.
Because the speed limit is not the problem. Stop sign's not the problem. It's big 18-wheelers coming down there with people that aren't from around here, that never driven on the road. I mean, we had one of the accidents up to the driver, and it's like, he got called an Uber and went home to Michigan. So, it's, how do you deter it, and a simple sign up there by Tire and Wheel that says no through commercial truck traffic, and the other end says no commercial truck traffic. This is what we see in Posey County, Warwick County, Vanderbilt County. I mean, I got pictures and I'll be happy.
So I'd be curious if they're limiting that based on other factors other than based on the traffic there.
It's residents. They're getting the residents, they're getting the people out because it's exactly the same problem as we've got. There's no shoulder and there's no.
That was the problem before, that was the problem, having the commercial vehicles going to the, I know one of them going to the highway department. We were talking about that before.
Well, and then they put local traffic on or anything. I mean,
I don't know, that's
I think
how we can get it to do that.
Enforcement will be a big problem. I mean, we can't expect the sheriff's department to send a guy out there
no.
all day, every day to enforce everything. Like you said,
You think that study will say no traffic? I mean.
There was one of those on 100 East. No trucks down there at the intersection with 525 South.
550 down that area, there's a sign up sitting no trucks.
Pay any attention to
Yeah, they don't pay attention.
Well, it's in the wrong spot. It needs to be at the next road. It was up at the other one before all that was improved right there. That sign needs to be moved to the next road. That's another place,
it.
100
There used
South.
to be one on the road north of that where they would turn to.
It is,
Not to go there.
that sign's still there, but the sign, the last road, it isn't that it.
550.
Yeah, it's not there.
One of 525, not one of 550.
That's right. That's right.
We looked at that too.
We just had a truck get off there, maybe, I sent you pictures.
Yeah.
And clogged up all the Toyota traffic and made a mess,
Yes.
And there's just people that aren't from around here that don't know the roads, that their GPS takes them there.
Right.
I mean, that's where the truck drivers are off. So, okay, so follow up next meeting on.
I'm gonna say we could look at possibly putting something out there. I mean,
To
In
start,
the meantime, we can definitely reach out to Toyota and have them reiterate to their vendors to, please use the state and federal highways to access the plant. The problem is and half of these truck drivers. GPS.
Well, they're
They look at GPS and they put in the quickest way, and I know there for a while, we had troubles with them, ended up in your front yard. So, I mean, for now, I'd say that's what we do, and then, hopefully we can get this Safe Streets grant, and maybe that'll pay for some signage, something, I don't.
my my struggle is waiting another 10 months is
But,
an action of doing nothing.
yeah,
And it's been 2 years in November, you know.
I mean, we can put all the signs up in the world, but unless we have 4 sheriff's deputies sitting out there. You know.
Yeah.
And it is a public road, so.
Yeah.
I will add, during the solar, construction piece, the sheriff had a car sitting there on the corner where the soccer fields are at. Just a car with sheriff parked on the side. During that period of time, he was there just to, let the through traffic know that there was, that intersection was being monitored. But the speed, but people coming through there slowed down tremendously, just because the cars sit there. And I realized they were paying, so the solar company was actually paying the sheriff's department to do that. But just the presence alone
Right.
created, you know, a positive impact on the traffic.
I've seen where the signs that you guys had ordered, I've seen where those signs have created a really positive impact on speed limit, on speeds also.
Yeah, it will make a difference.
Are those the lighted ones that flash if you're going too fast?
Yeah.
If posting a sign that says no trucks down this road, saves 2 trucks from going down that road, that's pretty safe.
I didn't hear what she said.
To put the signs that it even stops 1 or 2 trucks from going down that road, it's a positive. It's up to you guys, if you wanna, fire to go put no truck signs up, I don't have any stop or anything like that, but we can look.
To start,
They're mad, whatever you think is better.
Go ahead, Larry.
if you think about a truck, period, a semi truck. They're 8.5 feet wide. And then the mirror sticks out.
Yeah.
Close to another foot. But when we're redoing roads. It would be nice. To have a 20-foot road. A county road 550 over there. It's 19.5 foot wide, whenever the paper kick was coming through there, he was flagging. They was measuring off and put marks on there. And I asked him how wide he was making it, and he said 19.5 foot. I said, can't you at least go 20 foot? And it didn't get done, and it's not getting done on any of these county roads because years ago. Pike County Road 175 is the same way. It is so narrow. And based on, I tell my truck drivers, if I've got 4 or 5, if I've got trucks going down the road, the empty truck, if they gotta get it off the road, get it off the road, but you make sure that that full load does not have any problems getting along there. Basically, that's just me controlling mine, got 2 drivers. Nobody else pays any attention to that, but in other words, it's narrow county roads, all of them is 350 is bad. All the county roads are extremely narrow for 2 trucks to be crossing on.
And 350 is wider than most of the roads we have. I'm gonna say it's at least 20 feet wide, but you know, you're talking about upgrading roads like you're doing, that's not gonna be involved in a 2-inch overlay. If I put 2 inches of asphalt on the edge of the road, it ain't staying.
Right.
Now you're talking about upgrading,
Right.
moving ditches, acquiring right of way, doing a lot of things to do what you're talking about. But, like on 350, that's gonna be an issue because I'm gonna say it's at least 20 foot all the way down through there. So there is room, but you know, look, the issue is the shoulder. Shoulder's an issue. When you start to get 2 trucks past each other, they're gonna wanna try to hold the edges. That's gonna be an issue. And there was shoulder stone put down, when it was paved, but I mean, it's not put down, you know, a foot thick to where it can hold that kind of weight.
So we don't have anything code or anything saying that we can't do that?
Do what?
Is there anything about law or any other code or anything that we can't do that, we can't put that sign up?
No.
I'd say not, cause it's not gonna be I'd say it's not a regulatory sign, it's a recommendation sign type thing.
So we can't put that.
So I think, yes, we can put a sign up to warn drivers type things, but I don't know that you can get a ticket for it. I don't know where that would fall.
Would that deter them though? You think that help deter them? A little bit?
It might. And like she said, you know, if you can get 1 or 2 trucks to not do it every week, it would be helpful. Anything would help on that.
I mean, I have a problem. What you guys think?
Fine, we'll put some signs on.
In what area?
I mean, it can't hurt.
Yeah.
100 east and 350 east, that's, I mean.
Yeah, those are the two
Those are the
that
two
we
that
had
are gonna be coming
direction.
off of.
100 east.
Basically just east of Toyota, at that intersection, and then all the way over at 350, come back the other way. Put signs up both those locations.
Now you wanna include the detour with those signs, right?
Now we don't anywhere else, because if they're gonna be on 350, they're gonna be sitting on 100, they can go south on 100, if they're going north and they see it, they go west out 41. If they're on 350,
Well, the
they can go to
super slam
168,
goes to 168.
yeah, they go to 168 or. And it may be the fact that, you know, the guy may take it the first time, but notice that sign and then maybe
Yeah,
stay off of it
Yeah, I
possibly.
don't, yeah. Anything's worth a try to get that, and then even talking to Toyota again, but Tim and Ted are both no longer, you know, they're retired, so.
We can have Jason go ahead. and go-
We have contract.
Yeah.
They were the ones that pushed
Yeah.
it, helped push it before,
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
thank you, man.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and do this, so.
Do we need a motion or we just?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, so it's on 350 south from what to what?
100 east and 350 east.
Okay. So no commercial traffic except for deliveries to the highway department. Is there anything else that would be, that we know of that would need deliveries?
I mean, I'd say every once in a while, might be something for a homeowner, there may be concrete trucks delivered to homeowners, there's stuff out there that. You know, I know there's a steel truck that goes to 275 east.
Ready trucks?
What?
Ready trucks?
Yeah.
Farmers, trucks or farm vehicles, there is there.
Yeah.
I guess we could say no commercial, no Toyota commercial traffic.
Right. Do that.
Can I ask something, is this going to affect the Allen shelter bill and those trucks that are going out there for that?
They don't have to go down 350 though. Can't you take?
That's where they're coming from.
They go up 168 or what was it, 168?
175 too.
A lot of times, if somebody really cares about that sign, they'll call the highway department and say, hey, I saw this sign, how do I get there?
Right.
And then, you know, you can't, I mean, like I said, it's hard to restrict it, period, being a public road. I don't know that you know, like I said, you can't do anything with farmers, you can't do anything with stuff coming from the highway department. The animal shelter, I mean, they may be bringing us some other supplies in. You know, we may get a phone call, or they may see this the only way to get there and just go that way.
Chuck, aren't you on that board? Aren't you on that board? What, with the animal shelter for the bill? I think you're on there. We can let them know, guide them.
We have to let the contractor know that they may get a phone call, but they still are allowed access.
I guess I'd recommend that we put this on the agenda for the next meeting, so we can put Toyota on notice in case they believe it's gonna have a drastic impact on them. And give them an opportunity to be heard. And then at the next meeting, the proposed language would be no Toyota or Toyota suppliers. Commercial traffic to those entities.
We do that, we just wanna put commercial vehicles. You know, like, cause, you know, and then put. No commercial through vehicles. You know, people just running, wanting to use it to cut through, go back and forth, but like the highway department's not going through. The, you know, not really stipulated as Toyota or Toyota subsidiaries or Toyota suppliers. Just make it no through. Commercial traffic.
And you just posted no through trucks. I've seen those signs before.
Yeah.
But if they go to Toyota and go back the same route, that's not through traffic, right?
Yeah, well, since we're gonna go 100 to 350, it would be through traffic. Cause we're not gonna push it back on 41, that's for sure. That's that road's built to sustain that. So, I think it's more of a no through commercial truck driver.
Can we do this? Can we just put it on the agenda for the next meeting and that'll give everybody time to soak this in?
Figure out the
and
language.
decide what details we're gonna put in it.
That's a good idea.
Thank you all. Anybody have anything else? All right, okay, motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Get to make all the motions.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.